Let your breath slow as night falls gently across time, and let yourself drift across thousands of years to a world of quiet rivers, soft clay, and fading footprints. You're going to the Indus Valley, not in a rush but slowly, like the winding course of the ancient river itself. No need to try, no need to know everything. Just let the secrets rise like mist from the soil. You're not here to solve history, but to float through it. Close your eyes and feel the warm dusk settle over the land where the first city builders walked, far before pyramids, far before empires, in a time older than the stories themselves. The Indus Valley was not a place of kings and war cries, but of balance and stillness. Around 8,000 years ago, people began gathering near the rivers, sowing wheat and barley, building simple homes of mud brick, and letting the flow of seasons teach them patience. Slowly, without noise or fanfare, villages became towns, towns became cities, and cities became something more. An invisible network of wisdom stretching across the plains of what we now call Pakistan and northwestern India. The people of this land didn't carve enormous statues or wage brutal conquest. They left no great tombs or golden thrones. What they left behind was subtler, even more beautiful in its restraint. Now, you find yourself walking through Harappa, an ancient city built with remarkable order. The streets are straight and wide, almost like they were drawn by a quiet mind in search of peace. Homes are sturdy, cool, often 2 stories tall, built with uniform bricks. Every house has its own well, a little gift of water in a dry world. You can hear water dripping gently, echoing in the narrow lanes and the occasional low murmur of someone passing by. There are no palaces here, no temples dominating the skyline. Just balance, symmetry, a culture that somehow valued harmony more than hierarchy. A world that moved without shouting. You pass carved seals, each one a tiny mystery. They show animals, unicorns, bulls, elephants, and strange symbols we still cannot read. You trace the lines softly with your eyes, wondering what they meant. Maybe they marked ownership, or trade, or prayers. Or maybe they told quiet stories only the maker understood. You imagine a craftsperson pressing their seal into soft clay by lamplight, not knowing that thousands of years later, someone like you would look upon it and wonder. Their script remains undeciphered, like a dream in another language, its meaning asleep, waiting. Now the air changes. You arrive at Mohenjo-daro, the mound of the dead, but there is nothing frightening here. No doom, only serenity. You walk the smooth streets as the sun slips behind ancient rooftops. The great bath lies ahead, a pool of calm, brick-lined and sacred. You sit beside it, imagining the quiet rituals once performed here. The water is still. Perhaps it was for cleansing, or renewal, or simply a place to pause and reflect. Nearby are granaries, vast and cool, designed with care to store harvests against hunger. The people here planned for time itself, as if they understood the quiet rhythm of years. As the stars begin to appear overhead, you wander further through the city. Everything is measured. The bricks are of standard size. The drainage system flows beneath the surface, hidden and efficient. Wells are common. Even garbage disposal was thought through. You think of your own world, where so much is noise and speed. Here, everything whispers. You hear the soft clink of beads being strung, the dull thud of a pot being shaped, the calm voice of a parent telling a child a story now lost to time. You're not alone. The past is alive if you listen slowly enough. Further south, by the sea, you find yourself in Lothal, a port city where the tides of trade once brushed up against the shores of civilization. Here, boats once docked in a basin lined with stone. Perhaps cotton left from these docks, bound for Mesopotamia. Perhaps shells arrived from the coast. You can almost see the traders. Hear the gentle creak of ropes, the low voices in many languages, all doing business without urgency. Warehouses line the port. Inside, clay tokens, weights, and measures, tools of trust. The people here weren't ruled by gold or glory, but by shared systems, quiet agreements, a logic older than borders. The people of the Indus Valley were not loud, but they were many. Their cities stretched across more than 1,000 settlements, connected like soft threads in an enormous invisible fabric. They shared a culture, a way of life, orderly, kind, and deeply rooted. No great battles are recorded, no mass graves, no kings etched in stone. Their success wasn't in conquest, but in community. They had weights made of stone, ovens built of brick, toys carved from terracotta, dice, beads, bangles, flutes made from bone, the signs of joy, of play, of care, a civilization of details. And then, gradually, it all faded. There was no dramatic fall, no single cause, just rivers that shifted, monsoons that weakened, trade that slowed. Bit by bit, people left the cities. Bricks were taken and reused, wells filled with sand, streets emptied. The script, never cracked, stopped being written. The seals no longer pressed into clay. What remained were the outlines of lives, like fingerprints on ancient glass. You walk through them now, slowly, gently, without needing to know why it ended. Sometimes things pass not with fire, but with quietness. You lie now under the night sky, somewhere between past and present. The same stars the Harappans once saw blink above you. They built their lives beneath these same lights, tending fires, spinning thread, trading stories. The river may have moved, but its memory flows on in every layer of earth, every carefully baked brick, every trace left behind. The mystery of the Indus Valley doesn't demand answers. It offers a place to rest, a place to reflect, to feel a gentler version of humanity. Somewhere deeper into the night, as sleep gently wraps around you, you find yourself walking past ancient kilns, still faintly warm with memory. These were places of transformation, where soft, wet clay became strong, silent brick. You imagine a potter's hand smoothing the edge of a vessel, turning it slowly, steadily, with a patience the modern world rarely allows. The pot sits quietly beside others. Bowls, jars, and urns, made not for art alone, but for use, for life, for storage and sharing. You hear the faint sound of a wheel turning, a child laughing nearby, perhaps a dog barking in the distance, not loudly, but as if to remind you that this was once a living place, full of rhythms as familiar as your own breath. You pass through workshops where copper glints softly in the lantern glow. The artisans here were skilled but never rushed. They melted ore, poured it into molds, shaped tools and ornaments with quiet hands and careful eyes. Their copper wasn't flashy, but practical. Chisels, fish hooks, needles. They understood their materials. They understood their time. A bead maker leans in toward their tiny work, carving a carnelian stone no larger than a lentil, threading it with a steady hand. You can almost feel the smooth surface under your fingers. These were the humble magicians of the Indus, turning earth into meaning, turning effort into beauty, without ever asking for applause. The night deepens, and you walk now along the edges of Dholavira, a city laid out with subtle geometry in the salt plains of Gujarat. This city tells stories through silence. Water channels and stepwells line the dusty ground, leading to reservoirs carved into stone. Here, every drop of rain was caught and cherished, every overflow directed, every dry spell planned for. You hear no voices, but the structures speak volumes about foresight, about knowledge, about listening to the land instead of fighting it. You imagine the people watching dark clouds gather on the horizon, feeling both relief and reverence as the parched world drinks once again. Further still, the stars are clearer now. No cities to dull them, no neon, no noise. Only the quiet breath of the earth beneath you. A woman walks beside you, her hair braided with shells, her robe simple but hand-woven. She carries a pot of water from her courtyard well. Her footsteps fall as yours do, softly, unhurried. She doesn't look at you, but somehow she knows you're here. She hums a song that's older than words. A lullaby, perhaps, or a ritual tune sung while grinding grain. You don't know the meaning, but the melody stays with you, echoing between time and thought. A song lost in dust, but not forgotten in spirit. Now the winds carry you across the empty spaces. Abandoned fields, collapsed walls, roads that once knew wheels and feet. But even in these silences, something remains. The soil remembers. Archaeologists may unearth bricks and beads, but the feeling, the atmosphere, the soul of the Indus still breathes here, lightly, like wind through reed. You are not watching history. You are within it. The past does not sit in books alone. It lives in echoes, in feelings, in these long quiet hours where sleep carries you between centuries. The Indus Valley doesn't shout from its ruins. It waits. It waits for moments like this, when you're quiet enough to hear it whisper. You come to rest now at the edge of time, at the edge of knowing. The river flows nearby, unseen but deeply felt. Somewhere within the gentle current are the voices of those who built without monuments, who measured without boasting, who thrived without rulers. And now you understand. The greatness of the Indus Valley lies not in what we see, but in what we feel. A calm resilience, a soft dignity, an enduring balance. Let it stay with you. Let it hold you as your eyes close and your thoughts wander further from the world. May this forgotten civilization become your quiet companion through the night, a silent guardian of your sleep. Let yourself drift through the stillness of their world. No kings shouting, no swords clashing, only soft footprints across dust, fading scripts in forgotten languages, and cities planned with the care of a people who believed in living together, not above each other. You're safe here, safe to wander, safe to rest. The past will hold you. The rivers will guide you. The winds of the Indus will sing you to sleep. And so, as night deepens and your thoughts grow softer,